Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory, the Dragon King, and welcome to the Dragon's Den. This video is going to be quick. It's going to be about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15 Reunion Part 2, and we're going to move on in another video to some more real topics dealing with what's going on in the real world, so we're going to do that. Now, I'm going to be all over the place. There is not going to be a particular method in how I do this because I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of what I feel. We're going to start off with Marlo Hampton, or whatever you want to call it at this point, Latoya Johnson Jackson, or whatever her government name is. She has given us a lot of things. You can call giving us fashion, giving us all sorts of things that made her the friend on the show. Since she's gotten a peach, those things have gotten more accentuated. Her behavior, the things she's doing, right? One particular thing, and I typically don't even start off a video like this because I don't want to be seen as somebody who is trying to create a false narrative. But when it's in front of you, it's in front of you. Marlo has given us all type of gay rhetoric, negative body language in regards to gay men and things like that. We noticed it the first time a few years ago when they were in Africa and she used the F slur in regards to talking about, gay people. And so what struck me is, I don't remember, and maybe it did happen, but in that scene when she said that, nobody checked her on it but Sheree. I think Sheree was the only one that did check her on that, which was not surprising because she was friends with Miss Lawrence at the time, probably still is. But that is what shocked me about it, that seasons after, she was still a friend of the show. She did apologize in that same season, but you can tell just in her body language, it was lackluster. Like she really didn't care, that she did it. But because, again, like I've tweeted, Marlo is only connected to the gay community because we are her security blanket out in public. I don't mean security as in physical, maybe, possibly, but definitely when she's around certain people, where she can gain access and she can gain certain things that are going on in the city of Atlanta and beyond. So we're her security blanket, where she feels comfortable, where she feels like safe, and she can, intermingle, intertwine. I think it is because of the gay community that Marlo has been able to successfully, I thought my dog was on there, she can successfully intertwine within, her version of being a socialite, because that's all she is for real. So it is because of the gay community that she has been able to navigate as well and efficient as she has. Maybe she'll not acknowledge it, maybe she has already, I'm not quite sure. So what I'm getting to is, fast forward to now at this reunion part 2, there is a scene when she is there. Somebody makes a reference to Drew Sidora having a entanglement. We'll use that word with this former WNBA star named Ty. And you can see Marlo is really kind of like, taken aback that she's had a situation, intimacy, whatever they've done, had relations with each other. It's a shock. You know what I'm saying? It's homophobic. I'm gonna just go out and say it. And this is not something that I just put on people randomly because I don't do that. I know better than that. But she clearly has a homophobic response to that. It gets even worse when there's another scene where Drew hands over the phone because there's a message from a woman that, and this is before we know it's a woman, that somebody says, bring your D back. Bring that big D back, or D, they probably didn't say big, but just bring your D back. Marlo, and then somebody says, oh, was it a woman? And Marlo goes back, and I see like, oh my God, thank you. As if, one, it's your issue because it's not, and two, that's just, again, that shows me this woman is homophobic. That's all she is. She's homophobic, and like I said, she's only used the homosexual community to advance in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta. Other than that, I really don't think any gay person would be able to benefit her in any way. Now, if she would ever respond to this, the first thing she is going to say is, well, I got gay friends, I got gay cousins. Okay, there are plenty of people in my family know that I'm gay, but I've been talked about rudely, disrespectfully from everybody, right? So for me, that means nothing. That means nothing. And that's just like saying when a white person is clearly doing something racist or making a racist statement, what is the first thing that comes out of their mouth? Oh, I got black friends, I like the music, da da da. Okay. No, it's the same exact thing that Marlo would say, right? So I tweeted this, and I think really gay men need to wake the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Don't assume just because it's a woman or it's somebody who say they are allies or actually are allies. We see it. There's been this pushback that we've seen. It's just you really have to be careful with who you call an ally. Marlo is not an ally. Like I said, she's used the gay community to manipulate, to navigate, and just to assimilate, her presence in the fashion world. Because if it wasn't for the gay men and the few women that she knows who are actual allies of the gay community, would there even be a Marlo Hampton? Would we even have known who she is? But that's the game that she played, right? So, and a lot of people might say, well, don't hate the player, hate the game. And I'm gonna say F you. Okay? Because it's time that we started waking up. Because how many times are we going to see Marlo react this way, make certain comments? I'm surprised that Andy, but see, Andy, to me, seems like he is so dead set on trying to just have all this exposure and have these women just have their lives just out there that he can't see, the forest past the trees, as that term goes. Or maybe he does, and maybe, who knows, he's sucking it dry out of Marlo, and then eventually she'll be gone. Because from what I had seen a while back, him and Candy had a little, I think it was a speak on it or some behind the scenes at Watch What Happens Live, and Andy was adamant about making sure that Marlo didn't have no peace. He was just so out of it. Y'all, I don't know what video it is. If I find it, I'll put it in the link. If not, then you'll have to find it yourself. But she is clearly right next to Andy. Candy is Candy Buruss-Tucker is right next to Andy Cohen, and he's basically saying no. He don't see her getting a peach. So I'm imagining, what did it take for him to decide to get this woman a piece? Desperation because they couldn't find nobody? Because that's the rumor, that they couldn't find elite people in Atlanta? Or was it because they couldn't get Portia back? Whatever it is, I just really think that desperation needs to go in the opposite direction. Say, we you know what I'm saying, we got you. You created a certain energy, but it's time to go. So I really don't, like I said, I really don't think that this woman has an affinity for gay folks. It's a means to an end. It's a means to an end. That's all it is. So I wish gay people would wake up in Atlanta and all these other places. You know what I'm saying? Be careful who you deem an ally. And I guess some might say it's vice versa. Possibly, but we're talking about Marlo on the other side, not me and the gay community at the moment. Because if you want to do that, you can do that on your video. But that's just what I wanted to say about that. And I also put another point for Marla was the humility that she was being very demure. You know what I'm saying? She's one. What she basically was doing at that reunion by not reacting a lot was creating this, throwing the rock and hide my hand type of energy. That's what Marlo was giving me the whole time, both part one and part two. Right? She was giving me hide my hand type of energy, and me personally, I thought it was disgusting. We know what she's done. We know the type of energy that she created the whole season, but now we see a Marlo that's supposed to be some Mother Teresa like person sitting on the couch and all. No, it was the total opposite. But that's the game that she was playing. She didn't say much, Maybe that was her tactic. Who knows? But like I said, I was disappointed in the couch that was on the left. If you're looking at the TV, disappointed in Drew, Candy, and Kenya, because they didn't do for me what should have been done for her and Sonya. And we're gonna get to Sonya in a second, and why I think that she got a free reunion check. Yes, Sonya got a free reunion check. So that's how I feel, and we're gonna get into it in a minute. But for me, I felt like Marlo was just. It was all the smoke and mirrors. All this demure on the couch was just giving me like this is a whole game for her. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of nonsense. Like there's no way in the world Marlo should have not been eaten alive on that couch. She should have been eaten alive. She should have been eaten alive. Sheree and Sonya, and well definitely Courtney. I wish Monietta would have went head to head with Courtney. And definitely Kenya should have went head to head with it, but I just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? I felt like the left side of the couch disappointed the hell out of me. But okay, whatever. Moving on. So then there's Drew's comeback. I call it Drew's comeback. She was checking the hell out of Ralph. You know what I'm saying? She was letting him know you out here saying that you getting dome from all these women, but all of a sudden now you're a choir boy. You know what I'm saying? You're a choir boy. You're innocent. You're doing no wrong. You just really out here just trying to, do your thing. You're trying to make it seem like, you're not this person who's created all this energy, because every situation has two sides. Drew's side, Ralph's side, and the truth. Okay? And to me, I felt like, she was calling him out, but he was giving you this whole, like I said, choir boy exterior. And we know that's not the case. Because I seriously believe, and we're going to get into it, that something else is going on between him and Courtney. Everybody knows it. So, and then she sang her song, Singing the Truth. I mean, she was singing dead to his face. Now, if that ain't, either this is a well-crafted stunt, or that's some truth telling right there, and it's just how well it was done. Like that was some bold shit. She's singing that song about him to his face, about all this stuff that he doing, and he ain't got a blink. He ain't got a. It's just a total. It's like he went just like numb. I'm like, but she was bold enough to do it, and Andy was sitting there and cracking up and laughing like, wow. That's some. I mean, like I said, either this is the biggest stunt between two married people, or soon to be divorced, if that's what's really going to happen, or he was just he went numb like a straight rigor mortis dummy. You know what I'm saying? I just that's when I really know that this was something that I just Ralph and Courtney and all that. It's suspicious all day long. So. Moving on, I call this part like Kenya's word. She was talking to Ralph. She was trying to convey to him, and, he was trying to disrespect her, of course. He was trying to disrespect her by basically telling her that, you've only been married for 2 years, I've been married for 9 or whatever. Trying to make her situation, not relevant, not prevalent in today's world regarding marriage. If you married to somebody for a year or 10 years, if it was toxic, the whole 1 year or the whole 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It's toxic. It's toxic. Period. And so, of course he was trying to lay one on Kenya. You know what I'm saying? He's already got the memo probably from Marlo and Sheree and, Sonya and Courtney that this is how you handle Kenya. Drew had talked about coaching. Ralph was coaching Courtney. I'm sure all those ladies on the right side of the couch, they was coaching Ralph. And what I found interesting is that nobody outside of Kenya was going to confront this man. That is the most sickening, the most disgusting thing that I ever seen. Nobody was trying to call him out on the BS, not even Candy. But then maybe she was, because she did say at some point, did she? No, she didn't say, no, she said she felt that she felt that Drew was gaslighting Ralph. And now, I just don't get it. Like, Candy was all over the place. She was just all over the place with everything. And so, okay, I'm back. So anyway, Candy was all over the place with what she was saying and how she was saying it, because I guess she thought that she was prepared and she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Which unfortunately it just made for a bad situation. I talked about it in my last video where they shouldn't have been having these issues with each other. They on the same couch. The other couch was in alliance with each other, and that's how it's supposed to be. Duke, sit down. That's how it's supposed to be. So for me, it was problematic when Candy did that. So, what else? Yeah, so she was, like I said, she was, so Kenya was having that conversation. I got off track, but Kenya was having a conversation with him. But she was telling the truth, and like I said, nobody else called him out on his BS. He was looking good in the tux, I will give him that, but the devil can look good in tuxes too. I'm not big, I don't do religion, but you know what I'm saying, I do. If we're gonna call it the devil, then I think what we saw was the devil and Ralph, you know what I'm saying, trying to look good, trying to persuade. He probably was looking good for Courtney, his soon-to-be wife. Now, let us find out that the two of them are on trips together and they've been doing things. Courtney is just a lot. And I'm going to talk about some other stuff, too, later on. But, okay, so that was that. But what I didn't appreciate was when Kenya was dealing with Sonya. I wanted Kenya to really kind of like, they were talking about getting pregnant together and having her baby and all that stuff. Kenya eventually said that she's going to adopt, a child, So, she can give a wonderful, a child a wonderful place to be and all that, and a great upbringing, and she can provide it. We see how she do it with Brooklyn, so she's doing an outstanding job as mother to Brooklyn, just really, that nobody can deny whether you hate her or not. I don't hate her, this teen twirl over here. But I really wish Kenya had not softened so much. You know what I'm saying? Kenya softened too much for me when she was dealing with Sonya. She was handling Sonya with kid gloves. Yes, Sonya, like I said, Sonya had a miscarriage. That's an unfortunate thing. As a man, I'll never know what that feels like. Never. And I don't claim to know. And it's something only another woman, biological woman, or a woman would know about, and I can respect it. But at the same time, I've tweeted about this, and I've said in the last video, and I'm going to say it again. When Kenya was going against Phaedra in season 5, I believe, Phaedra sat there with all her fraudulent, with all her beauty dressed up, full pregnancy going on. She gave it to Kenya as good as she was getting it. And she didn't blink, she didn't move a muscle, and she was handling her business. And that's coming from somebody who don't necessarily care for her, but I can respect the fact that she handled herself with Kenya. You know what I'm saying? And I love Kenya, but Phaedra handled herself extremely well with Kenya during that first encounter of Kenya's first reunion. why did Kenya have to go so light on Sonya? I mean, Sonya got a free reunion check, just like I said. Sonya got a free reunion check. That's just not. I was disappointed. I'm not saying that people need to be absolutely horrible and evil. We see enough of that in Courtney, but at the same time, you on a reunion show. So what happens next time? Is she gonna get away with stuff? Is she gonna get away with just disrespecting Kenya? Even after she has the baby? Come on now. I was disappointed. And I personally don't think Sonya should have got off that easy. She shouldn't have got off that easy. I don't care. That's how I feel about it. You on the show. You on the show. The reunion is battle time. The reunion is battle time. It's unfortunate that that's what it's come to, but the reunion is battle time. It's time to forget all the niceties. It's time to get down and dirty when you have to, and I was disappointed in Kenya. Still love Team 12, still going to support Kenya more, some more Kenya hair care all day long. But the idea that she pulled out the kid gloves for Sonya just totally messed me up, and I was extremely disappointed because Sonya shouldn't have got away with nothing. She should have eaten her ass alive. That's how her and Drew, they went at it, you know what I'm saying? And like Candy said, you and I shouldn't be arguing over Marlo. You and I shouldn't have a problem. You shouldn't be defending Marlo against me. And she was right. She was the last person that should have been defending Marlo. The last person, because here's my prediction, okay? Now I'm going to say that to us. I'm going to do it right now. Marlo is going to portray Sonya, or Sonya is going to see her for who she really is. It always happens. Sonya's going to see her for who she is. Trust me, you're going to see. You probably already know, but you're just hanging on to hang on. But you're going to see it for who she really is. That's all. You really are. I have a feeling, you know what I'm saying, if you're a real Pisces, your intuition has already clocked Marlo. But you avoid it. And sometimes as Pisces, we don't believe our intuition until we have to. That's when we start believing, and it becomes the absolute fabric. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you ain't got there yet, but your intuition, I believe, as a Pisces woman, is definitely telling you Marlo is everything everybody says she is. Okay? But that's that. So, Sheree is phony. Just absolutely phony. You know what I'm saying? She was absolutely phony. She reminds me of that one auntie in the family that tried to get slick with folks. She ain't never been able to do it. And then all of a sudden, she starts saying slick stuff. She get a laugh here and there at the backyard cookout, or maybe at the backyard jigaboo barbecue, or some other function. But she ain't known for that. Other aunties are, other people in the family, but she ain't. But she all of a sudden, got a second win, and all of a sudden. And then she mentioned how they've called her back more. They've asked her to come back. No, she's turned them down more times than she's been asked. As a friend, as somebody who to bring up the rear, but not as a primary cast member. All the 3 times that she's come back, or the 2 times she's come back as a friend. So that would mean that you denied twice to become a friend, and you decided the other 3 times to say yes or whatever. No, it's not making sense, Sheree. The math ain't mathing, So, but yeah, she's very phony, and I put on her horrible position. She was in a very horrible position. She was in a very horrible position as first chair, because are you serious? You know what I'm saying? She was in a very horrible position. And here's another thing. I really don't think that Sheree didn't know that her boyfriend, her baby daddy ex, Bob, you know what I'm saying? I don't see what the attractiveness is. I'm not the best looking man in the world, but come on, Bob would feel good. Okay, I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But my thing is like, you ain't gonna tell me that she didn't know. That's the biggest lie I've ever been told since a lot of stuff in the Bible. I may have turned you off from there, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. I don't believe nothing that she said that she didn't know. That little scene that we saw with her daughter telling her about the child, that's an absolute lie. She knew. She knew. She knew the day he was out there, creeping and all this other stuff. Nah, the woman she's not some magician. You know what I'm saying? Her powers of trickery are lackluster, and like I said, I hate to say this. No, I don't. I don't hate to say it because we see her business savvy or lack thereof. We already know what she ain't capable of doing with She by Sheree. My prediction is, and I've already said it, that by 2025, the website will probably be down at the beginning of the year. You'll have very little fabrics in the middle of 2024, fabrics meaning material to purchase, and then the end of 2024, the website is going to crash. It ain't going to be non-existent. It's going to have one of those error 404 little messages you get. And by 2025, she's going to file bankruptcy, and I guarantee you what she's going to say is, oh, we're refiguring, we're re-collaborating, or we're regrouping. Yeah, that's the word. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that, but you've been lying the whole time. Like, you ain't going to make a profit because you're spending thousands of dollars on things that's going on in your home. There's nothing wrong with showering your granddaughter with gifts, but I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? You must be doing very well in this inflation time because some of the richest people in the world are cutting back on their spending. Corporations who are making billions and trillions of dollars are cutting back left and right. They filing bankruptcy. So you mean tell me little old Sheree is getting all that money from She by Sheree and able to have these lavish, gatherings? I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. So that's that with Sheree. Now we get to Candy. What I put on here? I put honesty shots. Honesty shots meaning she letting Sheree and Marlo know they've been jealous of her. She's accomplished more than they ever have. She has a business savvy that is I ain't gonna say beyond reproach, but she has a way of making money. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is, blessing her and making sure she's got that spirit about her that she can make money. And they've been jealous. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know what. I mean, we just have to ask, like, Marlon, how are you making your money, babe? I mean, it ain't, we ain't got enough, if it's illegal, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's something you're going to have to deal with. But I mean, Candy is, she's legitimately making her money. And yeah, Sheree mentioned about her shootings and all that stuff at her restaurant, but so effing what? She can't control the traffic that's in her restaurant. She out there hiring people and actually paying them for the work that they do. She can't monitor everybody that's going on. Now, could she possibly? I don't know if the person that was shooting was inside the restaurant. That I don't know that. Could she possibly be vetting more, being more intense with the background checks? Possibly. If the problem is somebody in her camp, you know what I'm saying, is or who work for her, it has these type of backgrounds. But according to y'all favorite person, favorite Parks, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. Maybe that's the ideology, giving people a second chance. Now, the fact that they still have ties to the street or some other stuff, that's questionable if they're in your legitimate business, but we don't know what the situation is, But what we do know, nobody's ever complaining about not getting paid. Because trust me, if somebody in one of the OL game, Blaze, and the other places that she owned was not getting paid, trust me, we would know about that. But we do know about Sheree not paying folks. We know it so much. A whole hour and 50-minute video has been present on YouTube for quite some time. So Sheree, pay your bills, and everybody else that's paying their people, let them pay their people. We know Kenya Moore is paying her bills. We ain't heard that she ain't paying her bills. She got videos. She got, look, online commercials going on. She don't build the store. Ain't nobody complaining about Kenya not paying her bills. Because Kenya knows business. Regardless of what y'all think about Kenya knows business. She knows business. Candy knows business. I don't know about Manietta knowing business because she got books and stuff, but is that an actual business? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know Kenya and Candy know business. They know business. And dropping with Drew, drop it with Drew, whatever, dropping with Drew. You know, she possibly may know too, but we know Sheree don't. We know Sheree don't. So you stick to paying your bills and don't worry about the grease and the grime and the grit on gang, old lady gang restaurant. You know, because you just focus on paying. Oh boy, pay him. You know what I'm saying? Pay the dude who made all the design, the sketches, the specs. You know, who talked to the manufacturers and all those people. Pay him. You know what I'm saying? Just pay him, bro. Just pay him. So we're gonna move on to Courtney. 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 Now, Courtney was on a show. Okay. We're gonna get to Courtney and Ralph, but we're gonna jump the gun a little bit. Courtney was on a show talking to, I don't know where she was having this conversation. I know L'Oreal, who with the yellow banana flavored gumdrop hair. She was on her podcast or some interview show that she was the interviewer with another gentleman. And let me just say before I go in deep into that, L'Oreal, I'm not sure if she was the one to interview Courtney, because with her stop it, sit. With her experience on the red carpet doing interviews, particularly with Michael B. Jordan, which was an absolute train wreck of an interview on the red carpet at a motion picture blockbuster movie like Creed 3, I'm not sure if she got the credibility to be interviewing a turtle. That's just my opinion. I really don't think she had the credibility to interview a turtle after that train wreck of an interview with an A-list star like Michael B. Jordan. But that's a whole nother conversation, right? Y'all already know where it's at. I'm not going to link it in this video because it's unnecessary. But what I saw in that interview was somebody trying to get a second win on doing a better interview than instead of screwing up an A-list interview on a motion picture red carpet by going to get some second, third, fourth, fifth grade performer on a reality show trying to improve what she looked like. So that's how I feel about that. That's how I really feel about that. Hold on one second. So as I was saying, I'm back. Where was I at, y'all? But again, yeah, L'Oreal. That whole interview was absolutely sickening to me because, you're being interviewed by somebody who's so unethical on the red carpet. She's trying anything to redeem herself. Whatever. So Courtney goes on to say in that interview that she was in an unfortunate car accident and it dismembered her body, and her arm was displaced or relocated, whatever it may have been. And she mentioned how that she could have a perfect face if she was like Kenya. Now she mentioned Kenya, maybe Kenya has had Botox. You mean to tell me your bestie Marlo and Sheree and anybody else on that cast didn't have work done? But she strategically pointed out Kenya because her next breath of deceit was, I had all this happen to me in a car accident and Kenya was making fun of me. Now you know damn well, Courtney, that Kenya Summer Moore, Miss Kenya Moore Haircut, Miss USA 1993, had no idea that you were probably in a car accident. I guarantee you Kenya had no idea that you were in a car accident. You strategically mentioned all that, and then why would she still talk about me because I had this going on? She didn't know. She didn't know. That's why she said she didn't know. And as far as we know, you could be fucking lying, because we live in a world of receipts. We live in a world of documentation. So you can say all day that you were in that car accident, and it's more than likely true. But we live in a world of receipts. Somebody gonna ask. I'm surprised nobody's asked you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is, giving you all these interviews and giving you all this airtime. Nobody has asked you, well, because we live in this world of receipts, what hospital were you at? When did this happen? You know what I'm saying? What particular emergency room did you get into? How long was the reconstruction surgery? None of that was asked of you. We just assume that you are telling the truth about what's going on with your so-called disfigurement. Nobody knows, nobody asks. But I'm asking, where are the documents? What hospital? How long did it take? You know what I'm saying? Did you have to go to therapy? Was this reconstruction, cosmetic surgery? We don't know none of that. You just telling us this. You know, you just telling us this. Nobody has the boldness to ask you because they believe in every damn word you're saying. Either because they don't like Kenya or they just feel like, you know, this is one hell of a story. They ain't going to check they references. They ain't going to check, do the research, which a lot of vloggers are now doing. Okay, so this is what I don't understand. Like, where's the, you know, people allegedly, you burnt up your husband's ex-husband. You burnt up your ex-husband's home. Let me get this shit right. So, you know, I say allegedly because I don't know if it's true or not. But other folks will probably not say alleged. They just gonna come out and say it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they got receipts, maybe they don't. But see, that's the difference between people interviewing you and what I'm saying. They're not asking you. They're not validating having to see receipts from you and just let you run off at the mouth. This shit about Courtney, this shit about Drew and her affair and all of this stuff. Nobody is questioning you on none of this, and I'm trying to figure out why. What is this, a whole agenda? What is it, the whole conspiracy circle? Nobody is questioning you. Nobody is questioning you. Nobody is questioning you on anything. And I'm trying to figure out why. So they just assume that if a woman says this, that, and the third, it's over with. No, they would expect a man to come up with something else. They would expect another woman who is not giving off the energy like you to come up with receipts, and people gonna check the proof. Well, where is it? Where is it? We just supposed to assume, you know what I'm saying, that it's, you know, it's the truth. Why? Because it's, you know. Now, this whole Courtney and Ralph thing, to them, they're the modern day Bonnie and Clyde. There's a modern day reality show, Bonnie and Clyde. I believe, just like many others believe, that they are having an affair. It's been going on. Just look at the embrace that she gave him backstage before his grand entrance on part 2 of this reunion. It's a bunch of nonsense. Absolute nonsense. If she ain't having an affair with him, she don't did some other stuff right. You know, there's even a clip of a video where when he is introducing her, while Bryce is there, Ralph is introducing Courtney and her boyfriend Bryce at the time to Drew, and his whole body language, we only see the back of it in the video. I don't know where it said. Y'all go find the shit. You know, he's hugging her, and she, you know, just very intimately pulls his hands down from her backside. Now, I mean, what is going on here? Like, for real. Like, I don't believe that. And, you know, allegedly, and there I go, allegedly, she was living in Tampa. She was living in Tampa with this man, and wasn't, maybe not with him, but she was living in Tampa, and he went down there. Come on now. Yeah, I don't believe none of it. But like I said, for you to go on L'Oreal's podcast, Redemption YouTube channel, you know, from her destructive, unethical, unprofessional interview she had with Michael B. Jordan, to prove a point that Kenya knew about you having had an accident that disfigured you, you are clearly a mastermind of BS and BS and more BS. So that's what I believe. So I'm just really done with this whole Courtney and Ralph thing. And that is my take on this whole Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion season 15, part 1, part 2. I hope that, you know, everybody kind of finds their peace somewhere in all this. But Courtney is, she cannot be on the next season. She cannot be. You know, she cannot be. It's not gonna make sense. But like I said, you know what I'm saying, watch all of them because it just wasn't making sense to me. I didn't do nothing on Marietta because she was lackluster. She said everything she had to say. I don't know. I side-eyed her for the interview she did, but she can't get she can't catch the cues right. When Kenya said you should not make a fan of the show or a friend of the show a housewife, she was not talking about Marietta. Like I said, Marietta bit the bait, got reeled in, got thrown in the deep fryer, and was cooked because she fell for the okie doke. So that's all I got to say about Marietta. But y'all don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to do whatever. Put something in the comment section or not. Just look at the video. Look at this good afro. It's kind of deflated now, though. It was like out here, but it's kind of deflated. Anyway. So I am Gregory. I am the Dragon King. And thank you for stopping by at the Dragon's Den. Y'all have a good time. I will see you later. Bye-bye.